What's up, guys? It's been a few weeks since, I think over a month actually, since we filmed this video. So just a couple of, I guess, video notes. This was not like a recommendation. We don't recommend you going out and buying this products. It was not a fun experience, very hard to do, and terrible product. So I do not recommend it. We ended up spending $200 on supplies at the end of the, actually it could have been more because we had like our supplies here from the shop that we had to use anyways. So I don't recommend Walmart tint. I don't recommend AutoZone tint. They are definitely charging you a premium. Yeah, so this is more so for a promotional option. I wanted to show my online tint school guys the comparison from buying Walmart supplies and AutoZone supplies compared to buying our tint kit. Our tint kit comes with all the tools and 25 feet of film for $150, where you go to Walmart and AutoZone, you get like 15 feet of film, not very good film, very minimal supplies, and it just makes everything really hard. So I tried my best, I did do it, but it was hard. So enjoy the rest of this video, and if you guys like it, click the link below, and our online tint school is live. So if you guys would like to take it, it's windowtinthacks.com, or click the link below and you guys can sign up. All right, guys. Fun video.
Using these in tint school actually. All right, guys. Product number one, Gain. Like gains, bro. No, no. Gain dryer sheets for the back windshield and front windshield. Okay. Product number two, Scrub Daddy. All right, guys. So we bought a total of, when I had to buy some stuff for my house, so let me cross that out. We bought the Scrub Daddy for $3.58, and the Gain. Is that the other thing? Yeah, the dryer sheets for $7.47, so about $10 in so far. Okay, so now we're gonna go to AutoZone or Lowe's to find some vinyl, and then AutoZone to get the actual tint supplies. All right, guys, so that's where we're going. Okay, so we found 6 centimeters, yeah, of vinyl electrical tape. So we're gonna take this with us. Let's go. All right, guys, so we just picked up some vinyl electrical tape. By doing that, we eliminate like 4 different products. So that is $9.14. And now we're going to AutoZone. And then if AutoZone doesn't have what we want, Pep Boys. And if Pep Boy doesn't have what we want, then O'Reilly's. All right, guys, so I got my kit here. So Gila, and that makes sense now why everyone, you know, reaches out in Google Ads. You can see like how to install Gila window film. I was wondering what it was. This is Gila. So I got an OFLA. We have, I think that's like a low tint cloth. Yeah, and then whatever this is, I'm assuming it's like a slip solution with alcohol. We have 10 feet, 30 inches by 10 feet. So we need about 5 feet for the back glass. And then we can use the other 5 feet for the side windows and the quarter panels. And then I have 24 inches by 6.5 feet. So it gives us a little bit more leverage to use the front 2 windows with that. So all in for $84. So under $100. So far, I believe, right? Like about a little over $100. Still not bad, still not bad. So let's go ahead and go and install this.
All right, guys, step number 1, water bottle. That's all you need. A water bottle and a scrubby, okay? So we're gonna grab these 2 tools. Technically we need the squeegee. And we are going to just clean the back glass. All right, so here's your car. Spray the glass. All we need is water. This thing is aggressive. It has some stuff on there. So I'm hearing like little noise, so we will have to use a scraper to clean off any like little imperfections on the glass. And again, I'm scrubbing hard, guys, because this car has a couple of things. Most of your guys' cars won't have this issue. Okay, so you don't have to do this step, but I'm gonna do it because I think she was like tying like with some tree sap or something. You can do it, but make sure you have a stainless steel blade and that it's fresh. Okay guys, always have a micro with you nearby so you can just keep your car clean and wipe it down. Now, number one tip here is that your entire glass is dry. All right guys, so the next step is gonna be our dryer sheet. So I believe heavily in understanding the purpose of why you're doing something. So glass has pores, right? So what we wanna do is we wanna flatten the glass out evenly and cover those pores and give the film a flat surface to work with. So a dryer sheet is a great option to just kind of like, actually it's gonna be a dryer sheet with, yeah, basically water. You can use soap, but I'm gonna try to pretend we have minimal equipment here. We're just gonna rub it. See all that soap? Okay, so what we're looking for is that, I call it ghosting, like it's a ghost, it looks like a ghost. And I just want to really flatten this out. And I'm gonna let it dry. So the reason we do this step first is because I want to let the back glass dry fully before I start working on it with some window film. So let's leave that there. And we're just gonna let it sit. Window tinting is all about saving time, right? So while that's drying, I'm going to grab my Lowe's tape and I'm now going to secure or tape the edges so I get a cleaner install. Very important for you guys to do this step as well. All right guys, so what I usually do, I'll get my tape and I'll just make like a bunch of them. The guys who don't do this step, I can promise you, your installs will come out way cleaner if you do this step. If you don't do this step, you run the risk that you're gonna have more contamination than others. And this is a specific tape. This isn't like, this is like actual like packaging tape, so it's really, really good. I didn't learn this hack until this year. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna grab our pieces of tape and we're just gonna line up and get this sealed. Protected, because not protected, but that's where the dirt's at, guys. That's where all the dirt is in this install. We don't want to cut on the car, so always pull up away from your seal, keeping the seal safe. All right guys, so basically now the back glass is secured, dry. I taped all the windows and now I'm gonna grab my 30-inch roll and we're gonna measure and cut this out. Okay, but before we do that, we have to do a step before that, which is actually laying down our vinyl in order to trace out the area that we're gonna cut out. All right guys, next step is to get our tape and we're gonna actually go all the way around the perimeter of the glass in order to actually cut on it without worrying about scratching your glass, because that's what we want to use this for. We do not want to put the blade purely on the glass. I know a lot of guys say you can, and you can, but we recommend not doing it, especially as a beginner. So what we're gonna do, oh, it's actually still wet. So as I was gonna place the tape, I did realize that this is actually still wet. So what you want to do is run your heat gun and dry it. You can also grab a micro and pat down like the really heavy stuff to make sure it's fully dry. Okay guys, so what we want is basically about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up this tape all the way around and hopefully it sticks without any problems. So I'm just gonna put it like literally try to connect my yellow line on the edge. That way I know that like that's all even. All right, so now that we have everything secure, we have taped everything, so the next step will be basically grabbing our film and laying it down on this glass. But let's do a measurement and get the measurement so we can do this. You technically don't have to do this. I mean, you really want to like go like, I mean, we don't have to measure. Let's actually do it without measuring. So that same dryer sheet is extremely important. Spray, make a small, I call this an anchor, like a boat. We'll put a little anchor visual here so you guys remember. Across the middle, while it's wet, drop our film. Lay it out. Bam. All right, so I just barely went over the yellow line, and this stuff's really good because we can actually see the yellow. So I would recommend the yellow tape. So now let's put this back. And we are going to do the next step. So just because we are cutting on tape, still you want to make sure your blade's sharp. So let's trim it. Take your time here, no rush. Also, keep your blade low. You do not want to be cutting into the glass. Just because there's tape there doesn't mean it's, you know, safe from all damage. And this step we have saved from not having to get a light, from having to but it saves a ton of steps. Okay, we have now completed that step. All right, so now we're gonna go over the next step. Oh well, before we move any further, guys, let's remove this, because I mean, you don't have to remove it. I would probably recommend leaving it. Yeah, it's probably best if we leave it for now, in case you guys mess up. So now the next step is gonna be laying down the H. So with the same dryer sheet, spray it. And right on the edge, you're just gonna like put a little line. See how it flattens out? Okay, now where most beginners make mistakes here is that they actually don't have, like, there can't be any tension here. So let me show you guys with the Sharpie. From home right now, you wanna make sure that you have an H pattern. So as you see, there is your H. Now, we want to start shrinking like this. Okay, we're going to break it into 4 sections. It's good for you to do this as well. Just section it off. All right, now, if you're not sure if you have this done properly, I want you to just grab it, lift it up, pull it, make sure not to wrinkle it, pull it. This stuff isn't the most durable. Okay, same thing here. As long as there's no fingers, these dry fingers, these things right here, you want them to be only in the section that I've highlighted. Okay, now that we are done with that, we're going to grab our gloves and we're going to start to shrink. Okay, so step number 1, especially because it's cold, let's let the heat gun heat up for a while. The warmer, the better. Safety gloves on, as always. Luckily, we're not too deep into wintertime, but summertime, it shrinks a lot faster. Wintertime, it's cold. It takes a while. So, don't touch the water. Anywhere where there's water, avoid it. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. Notice how the heat gun is, I have it 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 2, 3, up. Now, I'm a fist distance. I'm not too close, I'm not too far. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, another big mistake people make. When you're shrinking, for example, see this section, 1, 2, 3, this little section is what I push out. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. Once you get to these bottom edges, it's a quick push. Okay, where people mess up is they go all the way up. You're only gonna literally push out 1, 2, 3, just that section, a little itty bitty section at a time. Don't push it up. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. But notice the secret here is that I'm shrinking the entire little like 2 to 3 inches, and I'm pushing when it's ready. All right, we are fully shrunk. So now I'm going to take this off. Bam. Now before we finish, we always want to go over the edges one more time. This stuff is pretty sensitive compared to like good films out there on the market, so you have to be very cautious with this stuff. That's it for the shrinking section, guys. And, all right, so next step, we're going to basically remove this, or actually leave it there. We're gonna clean the back windshield, install the window, and then we're gonna move on to the side windows, okay? So we'll hop into cleaning the inside. Ready? Step number 1, sign up for yoga class because you're gonna be sore after this, okay? No, make sure that you know, you get in there and you move the seats forward and give yourself some room to work, as we need to clean these windows. So we're gonna lay down a towel. Put it flat. Lay down a towel to protect the speakers. And we're gonna spray the slip solution we got from AutoZone through the whole windshield. I wonder if it has alcohol. It smells like it has alcohol. And scrubby pad. Okay, so basically we sprayed. All right, now with our squeegee. Remember, we're using minimal tools here, guys. Whatever we have to work with. I have a lot more tools I have access to, but because this is a beginner introduction, I have to use beginner tools. Okay, so I'm gonna use this. Wipe off the bottom. Remember, guys, we don't have all these like fancy tools right now, so this is the tool we can use to install this. All right, now we're pretty much clean. Not the cleanest install because literally I only have two tools to clean, right? Now what I want to do is I have to cut out the sensors. Here's a little tip. You guys can actually turn off your lights. You're gonna grab your phone. Stick your light underneath. And all we're gonna do is just, one, make sure our blade is sharp. Very important that we do this when you're already done shrinking. You don't want to have that notch in there while you're still working, while you're shrinking. Okay. And let's turn our lights back on. Okay, next step, we're going to peel the liner and we're going to install this. So it's one spray feature. So what you're going to do, flick. Peel the liner. We're going to do something called reverse roll, guys. So all it is we're grabbing the film, All right, so now that we have this all sprayed, you wanna make sure you have a lot of spray, guys. Don't just use like a little bit. Like we're gonna go through all this. And you could technically use, I would prefer to use an actual mounting solution because this, I can already feel this stuff is like, it's very alcohol based, but it's okay, we'll make it work. All right, so all I'm doing here is I'm rolling it up. Now, tip here, wherever you start, right? You start here, wherever you end is where you're gonna start. So I just rolled it up, but I technically ended on that side. So I'm gonna grab it, very important step, follow me here. And I just put it in there and I let it sit. Okay, I don't wanna get confused as to where that is at. All right, next we're gonna clean the outside of the window. Okay guys, so now we're going to spray heavily. And we're not gonna use this spray for the side windows. This is just for the back windshield. Okay, all I'm doing is I'm unrolling the film. Unrolling the backing. Stuff is very flimsy. I'm gonna get under here. I'm gonna start in the bottom. Okay, so off the bat, I'm noticing it does not slip at all. So let's leave it there. Let's get ourselves on the stove. Okay guys, so the slip solution is not very good. Remember, I've never used this stuff. So just a little bit of joy, 2 seconds, we're gonna spray it in there. So you're gonna get a new water bottle or your water bottle and put just 2 seconds of joy. We want some bubbles. And just spray heavily. All right. Also, baby shampoo is a better alternative than Joy, especially for you guys as beginners. Okay, then I'm gonna use the same baby shampoo and we're gonna use this amazing squeegee. So we're going to also spread these fingers out. I wanna make sure there's no big bubbles. Get all the big bubbles out, flatten them out. You wanna have everything easy to squeegee so you don't wrinkle. All right, so we're gonna go here, sideways. Let's start in the left side. So I'm just gonna overlap everything. All right, so wipe down your panel. Make sure it's clean. Make sure you're not getting too much water everywhere. All right. Now we're gonna work the bottom half. Really the key here, guys, is with minimal equipment, you want to really use the tool like a multifunctional tool. So you're gonna have to really get in there and get all these bubbles out. All right, so I'm gonna overlap everything one more time before we get out of here. So all you're gonna do is from the top, start in the middle, let's go over everything one more time. Okay, all right guys, so the next step is gonna be glass cleaner to see if there's any stuff left over that I have to clean. So let me grab some glass cleaner and come right back. All right, so to finish this off, we'll spray. All right, so that's it guys. We are now done with back windshield. That was it. Really nothing much more to that. If you guys still have some fingers, just, what I do is I let this dry. That's why we start with back windshields. Let this dry, let it sit for a while we work on the rest of the car. So now we're going to move on to driver and passenger windows, and I'm gonna show you a little shortcut to make this faster. Okay guys, so let's move on to the next chapter. All right, so now that we're done with the back windshield, let's move on to the easier stuff. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna spray with our water, and we're gonna clean off the window with our squeegee. We're gonna do a method, guys, called double cut to save us a ton of time and energy. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna spray water. We're gonna grab tape measure. It's like 40. Okay, we're gonna do 40. So because it's really up there, we just gotta be careful. Okay, so 40. Could you move that micro? All right, guys. So now let's work on the back two windows. So we have 32 and 32. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to cut through the middle. I'm going to grab my film. And I'm gonna lay this one down. Okay, this one's gonna be backwards. No soap, we don't want it slipping around. All right. We're going to lay it down. We're gonna have to save some of this for the quarter panels. So, you don't have to cut this. So what you're gonna do, you're just gonna go to the bottom here, you're gonna line it up 1/4 inch. So wherever the glass ends, 1/4 inch below that. So like right there, even, about 1/4 inch. Okay, now we don't want to scratch the film. So we're gonna use a squeegee. I'm gonna secure this down. Now, what are the key points here? The film is opposite, right? So see how it's curling against me? That's what you want. You want it like that. Now the next step, I'm gonna grab this other side. And I actually want this one to hug that one. Okay, so we don't want to wet this yet. So what we want to do, now that we have that, before we do any kind of any water on this side, you want to get your Sharpie. I want you to Sharpie this side all the way up and down. And I want you to Sharpie this side all the way up and down, okay? Then, X for anchor. Okay, now let's cut off the excess film up here so we can have some extra film for the quarter panels. You gotta be careful here, not to scratch. Actually, really gotta use like every square foot of this thing. All right. So now that we have this cut out, we're gonna move the ignition forward. All right. I'm going to roll the window down. And it's very important we get this step properly. Sorry. Get the blade nice and sharp. Probably trim it, honestly. Put it in there. And you're just gonna point it downwards. Put your thumb under the blade to hold it steady. Okay, and then clean up your corners. So here, I like to put the blade out more. Clean that top corner. Clean that top corner. I'm actually gonna come back across. Make this a little bit tighter. Okay, now bring it over to our table. Now we can separate the film. Let's get some soap under here. We need to cut outside of the line about 1/4 of an inch. So wherever your Sharpie ended, make sure you get the thick Sharpie, guys. You're going to cut a straight line along the edge, always outside. Give yourself room for error. Still outside the line. And then we're gonna round all your edges, guys. Okay, we are now done. Now, before we move forward anymore, we're going to want to actually shrink these windows. All right, now we're gonna spray everything. Now I want you guys to also, pro tip, don't just leave your car ignition on. Make sure you guys are turning it on and off, but you know, of course, have your driveway or your door open, that way you don't die. Okay, so here, all we're gonna do now is with an ID, we're gonna bring the fingers straight down like this. We're gonna grab our heat gun and we're gonna shrink the fingers that come up because this is a bit of a curvy window. Seconds, bam. 1, 2, 3. Never touch this corner or this corner. Anything that's lifted up, leave it alone. Okay, that's it. Grab it. Lay it down. Okay guys, so now let's make our mixture. So we got either baby shampoo or Joy. I would recommend baby shampoo. 1, 2, 3. Now we have to do this with minimal equipment, so that's the challenging part. Making sure we have everything. These doors for some reason don't open all the way up. Okay, we're just gonna scurry pad. These. Okay, now use your hard card. You can use this. Clean your edges at the bottom. You could also use your ID or a credit card or something hard.
So I'm using the hard card because it tends to mold better, like an ID or a card. You can also use the squeegee. Okay, now we're gonna start to install. So I get the window up, cleaned everything. Bring it over to our glass. So we're gonna bring it over to our glass. Lay it down. Click it. And you're just going to pull downwards so you get to, so very thin. We're going to bring it down to about 3/4 of the way. And we're going to do a technique called top loading. So I'm going to load the film from one side to the other. Okay guys, so we want to line it up and give yourself about 1/8 of an inch space at the top. So we don't want it too high because then it'll peel. And then we're going to secure the top half. Now that the film is no longer moving and is secure, let's roll it up. Spread. Okay, then we're going to peel the liner. Now line up the bottom edge. It really is a multifunctional tool, to be honest. Don't lose your tool. Before we get the whole thing. The heat gun, we're just going to run it over all the edges one more time. Then we come back. There we go. There we go, guys. There is our second window completed. And again, remember, we're using minimal tools. So this isn't how I would like do it in my shop, but this is like very minimal tools. I'm using what I have access to. Okay, so now I'm going to basically install the other side. But before I do that, I'm gonna cut out the quarter panel because we're already on this side. And yeah, so let it dry for a bit, then take out the tape. But we should have full coverage on the right, left, top edge should be good, and we should be solid. So this tool is efficient, it's multiple tools at once. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the quarter panels. Okay, so this one, guys, we're gonna have to clean the inside before we get started. But I just wanted to point out some things so you can see from my perspective what it looks like. So we wanna make sure that we cut out something before we get started. All right. So because the seal is right up to the edge, right? You can't tuck anything in there. We're gonna have to trim it out. So we're gonna go in there, cut out about 1/8 of an inch. All right, guys, so we're gonna spread, clean really well. Okay, I already scrubbied, so that's already done, but we had to clean it kind of extra well because the seal is so tight. So we got to be careful during the install not to, not to get contamination. So we're gonna grab our water. We're gonna need another water solution. So let me grab the water. Actually, I think this should be okay. I got. Okay, so same thing. Let's line up the bottom.
but I'm gonna have to probably cut. I'm gonna have to Sharpie and then cut that out. I want that pretty close to the edge. Is this side straight or no? No. Okay, so get something hard, hold it down. We're doing one side at a time now. Cutting on the outside here. Stuff's so sticky. Let's use our either baby shampoo or soap. All right guys, so there's window number 2. Not easy for sure, difficult. I'm gonna see if I can get like that copy. It's pretty hard to make the copy, but I'll make another one. I'm gonna go to the other side and do the other side, the back half, and then we'll cut the front windows. And then we're done, guys. That's basically how you tint a car. So this is where we're at so far. Again, this is not a perfect install whatsoever. It's good. This is like beginner, what you can do when you're first starting. But I mean, you're learning the skill, you're learning the basics. Normally I would have gasket openers in the whole bottom. I could actually even take this out if I needed to, but I know you guys don't have those tools and don't have everything there. So I could technically do this a lot easier, a lot faster, but again, I'm trying to simulate a beginner doing this. So yeah, it's not fun being you guys. All right guys, so this is the last part of the video. So this is just how to cut the side windows. And we're not gonna show you guys the other half because it's literally the exact same thing, just the other half, you know, doing both windows, installing both. So this last one is 40 inches. So let's go ahead and cut that out. Okay, let's bring it over to our glass. Okay, so we're gonna have to line this up. Same thing as the other side. This mirror is really like annoying. But once we get it in there, same thing, 1/8 of an inch, sorry, 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. I have it almost there, so let me scoot it a little bit more to the right. Okay, we're gonna use the hard card. Let's make sure Sharpie both sides. What goes in? Now the challenging part with this one is that we have to get the window down. But there's a stupid mirror here. We're gonna have to be gentle. See the car on?
Yeah.
Alright, so what we're gonna have to do here, lift it up. And we're gonna roll that window down. So about right there. Same exact thing as the other side.
because this side is challenging because we do have this mirror in the way. And it's the exact same thing. We're going to basically trim that top half, prep, and install. And this window is actually rounded. That's interesting. Sometimes you have to spray some like water behind it. Okay. Now the interesting is this window looks like it actually kind of curves out, so I could technically cut this side. And really I'm just following the glass. So it actually goes in and out. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna bring it from this side, trim both sides.
Say that one more time.
So yeah guys, I'm going to trim both sides. So now I'm going to go here, cut a side of here. All right. Now I'm going to lay it here until I'm ready to install. All right. And we're gonna need our scrubby pad, squeegee. Okay, with the window all the way rolled up, guys. One thing I will say, this squeegee is not good for like glass. Technically you can use it for everything, but my squeegee is so much better than this. Okay, I'm gonna clean this side. Clean the bottom. That's why it's so important to tape this too, guys, because I want to I obviously don't have the right tools here to you know, do a professional install, but that's why I have the tape, because I want to have the highest chances of a clean install. Okay. Clean off the top edge. Alright, now let's get to installing. Okay, so terrible squeegee, I will say. Okay guys, so we're gonna peel the liner. let's go ahead and grab the film. Spray your hands. Grab the film. This film is so sensitive, guys.
Look how gentle you have to be your wrinkles.
I don't recommend this product whatsoever. It's terrible, actually. But, you know, we're doing what we have to do right now. Okay, so now that we have this secured, now let's roll it up.
Not moving, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, like we couldn't do this. Like this car, we can't do it properly because the seal is all damaged. So we're just gonna tint what we can now. All right, guys, so that is how a beginner would tint their car. So I would not recommend this product and like to leave it on your car, but it's a great training product. So what I would do, like this is a first entry level, like you're barely touching it. You're not, you're not doing clients' cars. I wouldn't even recommend this product for your car. It's very thin, very fragile. You could definitely do it, get the experience. But what I would do from this point is now take the rest of the course, start to buy the actual right film. So I'd either buy from Tint Club, I get 1 roll of dye or 2 rolls of dye, or I would buy from Tint Depot, and I'll have a link below. And you can get $100 to get you a roll, so a training roll. So I would highly recommend a training roll. It's $100 for the whole, like for 100 feet. Here I paid $100 for literally like 15 feet. I think it was like 10, 15 feet. So yeah, you're getting way more bang for your buck, but this is a great way to start. So I struggled a lot unnecessarily because I don't have the right tools that I normally use, but this is what you guys can do. If you want to build it into a business, you for sure can, but this is your first just weekend project, you know what I mean? Do this on your own car, no risk, and it's a fun experience if it's your first time. So all you can do now is basically you're gonna run the heat gun over all the edges, make sure all the fingers are down, and yeah, that's basically it. Just make sure you have a hard card and enjoy your first tint job, guys. Have fun with it. If you guys are at the end of this video, we did all the sides, we did the back windshield. So now you're just gonna do the other side and you'll be all done, guys. So I know this may have been rough on your first time, so I would recommend if you didn't get it the first time, don't waste your money on more product from AutoZone. Buy a full roll and wait until you get that roll and then work on the rest of the car.